Okay, good afternoon. My name is Ryan Talavis, and I'm a security consultant in Hawaii. I work for a company called SecurityNA. I'm also a member of the Hawaii HoneyNet project, and today I will be talking about dangerous mines, the art of guerrilla data mining. Obviously, my talk will be about data mining and how it pertains to information security. And I'm also a big military intelligence fan. So this is also going to be about data mining and how it pertains to information warfare and military intelligence. So my hope for this talk is that I would be able to give you a short glimpse of how data mining, you can use data mining in your own research. And I really hope that you gain something from it so we can share. I'm always looking for new data sets to use and all different techniques and all that stuff. So I'm really looking forward to having you learn and having us do more collaboration and stuff. So before all that, I always start with a quote. I think this quote actually embodies the principles of this whole talk. So it is said that if you know your enemies and know yourself, you will not be imperiled in 100 battles. Which is true, right? Very true. So enough about quotes. Let's go on with the talk. Okay, for a brief background. So actually this research actually got formalized and started about 2 years ago. I presented in Black Hat called this thing called security analytics. It is the concept of using data mining and artificial intelligence in security and information warfare. What I did then was I presented techniques, theories, and theories about data mine that we could use in information security. Back then, I think what I did was I presented a lot of algorithms, math, and stuff like that. And I think I ended up with a pretty boring talk. So I've learned my lesson. And for this talk, there will be no talk about math or any complex algorithms and stuff like that. So for this talk, we move from theory to practical applications. So hopefully I'll be able to provide to you scenarios, tools, more importantly, tools and examples to leverage these techniques. So let's start. So information is the key. It is the key to data mining. So I am focusing on two areas. And these two areas are information security and information warfare, pretty much military intelligence. So military, reconnaissance, information gathering, and espionage play an important part in battle tactics. Yes, that is Sparta. And yeah, I just put that there because it highlights the importance of information, like how a small force can be able to leverage it to gain advantage to a larger force, stuff like that. So information security. Obviously, the more information you have, you'll have a better chance to protect your organization. Obviously, if you have good threat intelligence, you have a better chance in drafting better policy, hiring better people, using the correct tools. So those are the cornerstones of our information. So let us now talk about information warfare. So information warfare is the use and management of information in pursuit of a competitive advantage over an opponent. So the key things here is use and management, because information, just ones and zeros if not used properly. So think of it, a book is just pieces of paper if not read and understood, right? Pretty much like that. Analysis, data analysis, is what makes information actually meaningful. So this is not new. There's everybody plays the game of information warfare. So usual suspects, right? CIA, FBI, NSA, IAO. And of course, let us not forget foreign governments. And don't think that it's only the big foreign governments like China, Russia, North Korea. I've come from developing countries, and they have something. Everyone has something. Everyone plays the game. And what I forgot to put there is not only that, crime syndicates. I actually saw this very nice talk yesterday about spam and pump and dump stock market. That's pretty cool. And aside from that, big corporations. Think about corporate espionage, corporate intelligence. That's also a kind of information warfare. So just that, everyone pretty much plays the game of information warfare. So let's go to more specifics, like projects. So the projects here, we have Project Echelon, probably the most popular. I guess you've heard about that, like Project Echelon. We have Talon, Advise, Matrix, Able Danger. That was pretty cool. Anyone here familiar with Able Danger, like the 9/11 stuff, right? So it's pretty cool stuff. But I'm not a good resource here to talk about these stuff. I won't be talking about these stuff. All I wanted to point out is these are large endeavors, maybe millions, billions of dollars. Why are these large endeavors? Because there are distinct challenges in doing data mining. First and foremost, there's the sheer amount of data. There's just too much data. Resources, way too little. It could be lack of effort, lack of tools, lack of money, a combination of everything. So in that diagram, as you see, that's where the challenge is. You have so much data, but what you need is to funnel it and process it so you'll get something meaningful. So that's the goal. So that's what we are looking at. So this is where my research comes in. So I call it like the Veritas project. Veritas is actually Latin for truth. So this project is modeled after a threat and intelligence gathering premise. So it's just a fancy way of saying that I based it off some Cold War spy network movie. But it'll make sense a little later. It will make sense. My goal here is I primarily based it off community sharing approach and using tools, technologies, and techniques that are freely available. My goal here is so that you guys can also use it. So you guys can do it because information is a realm for everyone. So hopefully you'll be able to use these technologies, tools, and techniques that I'll be talking about in a little bit later in my talk. Okay, now I've told you like spy network, right? So here's the analogy. So think of it this way. You have agent 1, you have agent 2. Agent 1 gathers some part of an information from country 1. Agent 2 picks up an information in country 2. Both pieces of information are seemingly unrelated. So you have two pieces of not really usable information. So what happens here, goes to HQ, it gets filed, still two pieces of separate information. But here's where the thing is. Here's where the important thing is, the analysis. This is where the important thing for this whole framework. This is what makes the framework work. And for example, the analyst finds agent 1's information. Analyst finds information from agent 2. So they put it together and they find relationships. That is the key for this talk. Finding relationships between large sources of data. And when they find 1 plus 1 equals here, you find relationships. So one mediocre piece of information becomes something more relevant, something more useful. And that's where we have the decision makers now. Action based on what we find. So stepping back, let's go now to the framework. So just a little more. We'll get to the actual framework now. So data collection. We have data collection. We have data storage. We have data analysis. And we have decision making. Okay, let's go through each one of those circles. Okay, now for the sources of data, it really depends on what you will be using. Depends on what your research will be. So for example, if I had like I wanted to do some research on hacker chatter. I had a honeynet or a honeypot, and I wanted to do some research on hacker chatter. So I'd use chat logs, right? So if I wanted to research on military intelligence, I'd use press releases and news releases. So sky's the limit here. You can use anything that that is based on your research. And the idea here is the more information that you can gather,